From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Brian Todd with today's Voice Briefing. It's Monday, September 8th, 2025.
This is J.C. Reindl with the Detroit Free Press. Michigan has lost 400 pharmacies since 2020. Many of those closures were Rite Aid stores after the company declared bankruptcy. Others were Walgreens, which is struggling financially. Yet others were small local pharmacies. Some attribute a portion of these closures to the cutthroat business practices of middlemen in the pharmacy industry, known as pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs. PBMs negotiate prices with drug makers and pharmacies. But some pharmacies say they are starting to get squeezed by PBMs, who in some cases pay them less than it costs to fill prescriptions. Attorney General Dana Nessel filed a lawsuit this spring against two PBMs, alleging a plot to fix and suppress the prices they pay to Michigan pharmacies. The PBMs, which include Express Scripts, say the lawsuit is meritless.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Eric D. Lawrence. An effort to clean out an old barn in Michigan's Upper Peninsula this year has uncovered a number of classic cars that have been hidden away for decades. A 1962 Cadillac Hearse, a 1941 Buick Special, a 1956 Hudson Hornet, a 1972 Cadillac Eldorado convertible, a 1949 Chrysler Windsor, and a couple of AMC Rambler Marlins are a few of the 18 vehicles that were uncovered. They aren't in running order, but Angie Foley, who owns the Rousseau Bar in the western UP and bought the nearby Red Barn in February, hopes they'll become someone's restoration project. They're part of an auction September 6th that includes lots of other unique items and antiques at the barn in Rousseau. Foley wants to turn the Red Barn into a space for weddings and other events. Her bar, which she bought with her now ex-husband in 2012, is a destination of its own for hunters and others heading to the small community southwest of the Keweenaw Peninsula throughout the year. Foley knew the vehicles were special, but she admits she didn't fully appreciate how special barn find cars are and had them pulled out for the auction. But they are the real deal, she says.
Hey there, everybody. This is Amari Sankofa II, Pistons beat writer for the Detroit Free Press. On this week's episode of our podcast, The Pistons Post, Bryce Simon and I made our annual player stat predictions a month ahead of training camp. Here's a quick snippet of our conversation. This may be a cause for some debate. I have Cade taking a step forward in several ways next season, but I actually predicted his points per game dipping a little bit, and I'll explain why. But for my overall stat line for Cade, I have him at 24 points, 10.5 assists.
Okay, let's go.
7 rebounds, 2 stocks, 48% overall, 37% from 3. Yeah, I think his scoring goes down a little bit. I think his playmaking goes up. The reason for that is because Cade Cunningham was 4th in the NBA in shot attempts per game last season. It was Shea, LaMelo, Tyrese Maxey, Cade, and then Luka, and then Anthony Edwards. So he's taking a lot of shots. I don't think his shots per game go up. I think it's probably going to go down, especially if guys like J.I., guys like Asar, guys like Ron, who we'll talk about here soon, take a step forward.
So here's the thing, O2. In general, who I think Cade Cunningham is in his heart of hearts, I agree with you. I've been saying since he was drafted that I thought that Cade Cunningham would definitely be the best player on a championship team, but he may not be the leading scorer, because I thought in his heart of hearts and what made him special was his all-around game.
You could hear that full conversation in this week's episode of The Pistons Post, which is available wherever you listen to podcasts. And as always, you can find our latest coverage on freep.com/sports.
Find more from the Detroit Free Press on freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thanks for listening, and you'll hear more from us tomorrow.